What's going on in the Toronto real estate market? We're hearing all kinds of stuff in the headlines, ranging from it's finally a buyer's market to some segments seeing multiple offers again. So in this video, I go over the Toronto real estate stats for September 2022, as well as what Kevin Krieger, president of the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, has recently said, so we can try to make sense of what's really going on. My name is Morgan Little. I'm a realtor here in the Greater Toronto Area who also creates videos like this one to help educate and provide some value to those who are in the market or just curious about what the heck is going on. If at any time you have questions or you just want to pick my brain, feel free to book a call with me by clicking my Calendly link in the description below. All right, let's talk about it. Now, it does appear as if both buyers and sellers are being hesitant about getting into the market. Sellers who aren't in a rush to sell seem reluctant to accept prices less than what they want. And on the other side of that, you have buyers who are still kind of waiting for prices and or interest rates to come down. This, plus the obvious factor of rising interest rates in a relatively dramatic fashion over the summer and into the fall, have set the stage for the lowest number of new listings in 20 years in the month of September in Toronto. That being said, though prices are now way down from the peak in spring, the average home price in the GTA is marginally up from the prices in August, which really shouldn't be a surprise as we traditionally see an uptick in activity and prices in the fall market, but it's definitely not what we normally see. So let's talk about the numbers. Starting with the total number of transactions, which were 5,038 in September 2022, which is a 44.1% decrease from September of 2021. That's a pretty impactful number. Probably not what we were hoping for moving into this fall market, where we traditionally see a much higher number of transactions than we do in August. And the fact is that we had 10.8% less transactions in September than we did in August of 2022. The caveat here is that we're comparing to a record-breaking year in 2021, which obviously needs to be taken into consideration. But when we look at the average selling price of $1,086,762, it's down slightly from the $1,135,027, which is a negative 4.3% difference. It indicates that we're in a stabilizing market after coming off these extreme highs that we saw earlier in the year. So that in itself, I think, is good news. Now, the biggest newsworthy piece is the number of new listings, which, as I mentioned, has not been this low in a September since 2002 at 11,237. That is down 16.7% from the 13,494 in September 2021. But remember, these stats are from all across the GTA and all across all asset classes. So please take them with a little grain of salt. Because yes, detached home prices are down, but it's true we're starting to see some multiple offer situations again in the condo market. But Morgan, what does it all mean? Well, it means we're in a market correction that is reacting and adjusting to rate hikes and people's uncertainty and a lack of inventory, which has been a major driver in the market, putting upwards pressure on prices. And where do we go from here? It's hard to say in the short term exactly where prices will go, but we very well may see another interest rate or two before the end of 2022 and hopefully a tapering off into 2023. And then I think eventually we'll start to see a more stabilized market into the next year. With the municipal election coming up on October 24th this year, the president of the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, Kevin Krieger, is encouraging local council to focus on supply policy, to create less barriers for not only large-scale developments, but also smaller multifamily expansion and intensification, including updating zoning policies so individual homeowners can help create more inventory, which is, as I mentioned, been a huge factor. In a recent Bloomberg interview, he also touched on the obstruction that mandatory energy audits are having on the housing market by creating more delays, which is also contributing to the supply issue. Additionally, there's also been a call for the reduction in land transfer tax in Toronto, which, as some of us know, is the only city that has its own municipal land transfer tax on top of the provincial land transfer tax, yet creating another hurdle for those wanting to get into the market. Now, I don't mean to be all doom and gloom. And the fact is that I'm not, and that's not how I feel, and that's not how I see it. The market goes in cycles, and we're in a correction now, and things will eventually normalize. eventually. The truth is, people are still buying and selling real estate if they're ready. How do I know this? Because I'm working with clients who are doing both of those things right now. So my advice, as always, is to take a long view of real estate. Do not get caught up in the micro events. If you're ready to buy or if you're ready to sell, then it's a good time to do so. Don't let the headlines or the temporary rate hikes or lull in the market dissuade you, and don't try to time the market. If you want to discuss your personal situation, feel free to book a call with me by clicking the Calendly link in the description below, and I look forward to chatting. Until then, this is Morgan Little encouraging you to get just a little bit better each and every day. Be well.